Hi everyone, Trisha here. Welcome back to my kitchen. If you're new here, welcome. We're going on to recipe number 3 out of this Make a Mix book. And I must say, this Make a Mix book, and I've got to say that hot roll mix is proven to be very, very worthwhile here. I've made 3 sets of the muffins, actually 4. And I've made 3 sets of the cinnamon and sultana bagels. My other half loves the muffins in the morning toasted with poached egg, and my son, he loves the muffins just toasted with jam, and the cinnamon and sultana bagels. Oh, they're gorgeous. I just eat them with butter, just cold, but he toasts his and blackcurrant jam on, and I'm absolutely loving making the breads for them. So today we're going to try out this homemade white bread, baked in bread tin. I've never made bread before in my life, in like a loaf of bread, so this is going to be a learning curve for me. So let's get started. I always have to refer back to my book because these are all new recipes to me. So we need 1 cup of lukewarm water. So I've half a cup in, and this has come out of the kettle, which has been sitting. It's been boiled ages ago, so I'm just putting 1 cup of water in. And I'll just test it with my thermopan here. Just make sure it's not over 45 or it'll kill the yeast. .42. That's about good. And I've got 4 teaspoons of instant yeast going in here. And I don't need to wait for this to bloom because it's instant. You have to put your faith in the yeast that it'll actually still be alive. But everything's worked out okay so far, so just give that a mix. And I'm going to put in 2 eggs, just slightly whisked, just to break them up. 2 eggs going in. I don't want to lose any of that, so I'm just going to scrape that out. Make sure everything goes in. That's our eggs in. 2 eggs. And 1 cup of water is going in. I presume it's just ordinary tap water because it doesn't say in the recipe, so I'm going to put a cup of water in. And we need a 1/4 cup of oil. So this is just regular vegetable oils going in, just a wee 1/4 cup. And it's a 1/4 cup of oil. And just give that a wee scrape out so it all goes in. That's exciting. Never made loaves of bread before, so I'm hoping that they'll work. Now it says to add the hot roll mix, 6.5 to 7 cups, and it says to add them 1 cup at a time. So I'm just going to loosen all this flour up in the bucket so that you're not lifting compounded flour mix up, or you're getting more in your mixture than what you need. Okay, so I'm going to come round. Now this is going to be noisy, so this first cup's going in. I'm going to add 2 to start. That's the first 2 in, and we'll get the mixture going. You can do this by hand, but I choose to use the mixer. That's 2. That's very, very loose. So we'll go on to cup number 3. Number 3. I'm actually going to put number 4 in as well. That's 4. Give that a good mix. That's what it looks like with 4 cups. And I'm just going to scrape the sides down. I have to remember I've got 4 cups in there. Just to get that all mixed in. And I'll just use the fork here just to take that off. Get you down in there. That's 4 cups. So we're going to add another cup. And that's the 5th cup going in. No, it's going to take more than that, so that's 5 cups. And I've got a little bit of dough on the bottom of that, so I don't want to put that in. I don't want to contaminate my mix. That's cup number 6 going in. That's number 6. And it says 6.5 to 7. And you want a nice stiff dough. And it's starting to pick up flour mix from the sides. The oil in there will help it all come together. I'm just going to scrape down the sides again before I add any more. Make sure everything gets mixed in. There's lots of flour on the bottom there, so hopefully this will all come together. And that's the 6th cup in, so I reckon I'll probably need another cup or half a cup, but we'll see how this comes together. tell by looking at it, it's going to need more. That's 6, and I'm going to add, just put a wee 1/3 cup in, actually 2/3, because that's really sticky still. And I'm going to add another 1/3 cup. It's still sticky. I just know it's not going to pull from around the sides. There's another 1/3 cup. So that's 7 cups in total. At this stage, I shouldn't need to scrape down the sides. The dough should pull that all off. Especially with that oil in it. And turn this up a little bit. And it's starting to come together really well there now. Just know by looking in there that that's going to be still too soft, and that can be anything to do with the humidity in the air in the kitchen or environmental issues, let's say. So I'll just put another like 1/3 cup in. It wants to be a real stiff dough. I think at this stage it's going to come together fine, and because it's going around the beater more now, so I'm going to let this knead for like 5 to 6 minutes, and then I'll be back. Okay guys, so that's been going for like 4 to 5 minutes, and it's quite a heavy dough, so I'm afraid of it burning the mixer out. So what I'm going to do is knead the rest by hand. You see how heavy that is? Thick. You just get it all scraped off. I don't want to waste any, so I'm trying to get it all, scrape the whole paddle. That'll do. And I'm going to get it out here onto this lightly floured surface and give it a bit of a working. It's the problem with some of these heavier doughs, you don't want to burn your mixer out. So let the mixture do the start of the work, and then you can use your hands to get it. Okay, so I'm going to be putting it back in here, so I'm just going to throw some oil into that before I get my hands sticky. I'm going to be going back in here to prove, so just put a big splash of oil in, and I get a wee bit of flour on my hands, and I'm just going to just knead it until it goes into like a satiny dough, they say. Everybody's kneading technique's different, but this is the way I do it. And my worktop was sanitised before I started. So really what you're doing here is building up the gluten and the flour. And it's getting a wee bit less sticky there now, so that's what you want. Good wee workout. And I'm just pushing it with the palm of my hands and rolling it back on itself. I've seen loads of different kneading techniques, but this has always sort of worked for me, so. And you know it's kneaded well enough when it's not sticky. Just want all those partial lumps of flour out. If you had a bigger mixer than me, you could probably get away with doing it in the machine, but as I say, I don't want to chance it. Now, let's take a look at this dough. Just pinch at the top. And looks good. So that's going straight into my oiled bowl. Same side down. Give it a twirl around. And then flick it over. And just get your hands in there. Make sure every part of it's covered in oil so it doesn't dry out on you. And I'm going to put a cover on this now, and it says it potentially take an hour for this to double in size, so it's going for a little snug rest in my hot press, and once it doubles in size, I'll be back. Okay, so it's been sitting in my hot press for this past hour, believe it or not. The house is cold today, so probably took a wee bit longer to rise. And indeed it has. It's rose twice the height, and if I push my finger in, the indent's staying, but it's trying to come up a little bit, so I know it's ready. So I'm just going to put a wee bit of just plain flour out on the worktop here. Just a little sprinkling. Don't want to put too much. And it says to punch this down. Whoa. And that's pretty sticky with that oil, so just get it out onto the worktop. I'm going to need a little bit of flour just for my hands, and I want to get this into a ball. It's just sticky with all that oil I had on it. Just a wee light knead. And this is going to make 2 loaves, so I'm going to cut it in half. Might not be perfectly in half, but it'll be fine. And this is where we get to roll it. I've never rolled like dough out into a loaf shape before, so let's see. Now, I presume I need to push this out into the shape of a loaf, and I've already went ahead and oiled these little pans. I just hope they're gonna be big enough for this, because this is all I have really. So I don't want it any longer than that. And I think what I'm supposed to do is put it into a rectangle. Let's get it as even as I can. And just roll it up, try and keep it tight. And punch the edges in. This is by no means perfect, guys, but I've never made bread before, so might be doing it completely wrong. So I'm just sticking my finger in there on the ends to poke the ends in. And it's not perfect by any means, but and I'm just gonna flip side. I think you're supposed to seal along the sides. We'll do that. All you experienced bread makers out there is probably laughing your heads off at me doing this, but as I say, unless you try something, you don't learn. They're not going to look overly pretty, but at least it's fitting in the pan. So this might be complete flop, but I'll always try something. And same with this one. I'll pat it down and get it into sort of like a rectangle. It doesn't have to be pretty to taste good, does it? That's my motto. I'm just trying to stretch it out. The gluten's tight in this, it doesn't want to move. And got my other pan. This is a wee old pan, it's been in the house for donkey's years old. Now, I reckon if I turn that over, then the seam side will be inside. And just roll it up. And this one looks better. I think you're supposed to pinch the seams to keep it in that dough shape or roll shape, and then push the ends in. Just my finger in, and that one does look a lot better. And it's gone into the tin. Not too bad. This one doesn't look very good, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Now it says to I just want to straighten that one. Now it says to cover these again with the cloth and let it rise until it's just up the height of the pan, up to about here. And then it'll be going into a 350 or 175 degrees centigrade oven for 30 to 40 minutes. So we'll get this covered and let it sit, and then I'll be back. And it's just going to sit here on the counter because the heating's on now, so I can keep an eye on it. Okay guys, so this has been sitting and I think it's rose enough. I'm not 100% sure, but it's been sitting for quite a while, and if it was going to rise anymore it probably would. And the other one, I'm in the full of the tin. So I've preheated my oven at 165. It's a fan oven, so it tends to run too hot, and it asks for 175, so I'm going to stick with 165. And these are going in the middle shelf, and I'm going to cook them for 30 to 40 minutes. And I'll just set my timer for 30, and I'll check them at 30, and if I need to rotate them I will, and I'll bring you back. Okay, so the bread's been in the oven now for about 35 minutes. I rotated the tins, and I just want to check the temperature of one. It actually doesn't look too bad. My goodness. Now I know I'm going to be going through the top here, but I just want to check the internal temperature and see what temperature we're at. Between 88 and 99, I think, is cooked. So that's not fine. It's not there yet. So let's go back in. I'm just going to turn my temperature down a little bit. As I say, this oven is fan oven and it tends to run too hot. I'm going to check this again just to see what internal temperature it is. And I'm just going to stick my thermopan down in to see. It's baven brown on top there, but that's coming up at 95 degrees Celsius, so between 82 and 99 for different sorts of bread. So I reckon that's good, and that's coming out clean. So I'm going to call that good for those. Can't believe I made bread, guys. The top's a bit hard, like, but I suppose it's supposed to be like that. Let's just check this one as well. I'm trying to get down right into the centre. This one's coming out at 90, and there's a wee bit of dough still there. This is actually a bigger loaf, so this is go back in for another 5 minutes. And this little one, we'll call this one good. Now it says to cover the top with melted butter. So I've got some melted butter here, and I reckon this is just to make the top a bit not as hard and give it a wee shine. I'm actually well pleased with those, guys. My first time making bread, so don't be too hard on me. And once these cool down, of course, Trisha will have to test, give it a taste test. is hot. So what do you think? Not too bad for my first attempt. I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm going to let it sit in the tin now for a couple of minutes just to cool down and wait for its partner to cook, and then we'll see the two of them together. I set my alarm for another 5 minutes on that one. My timer just went off and I left this one out as well. I don't want it to get burnt, and just take the paper off and get rid of that. That's very hot. I don't need that anymore. And we'll get some butter on top of this one. Now, they're by no means perfect, but they're perfect for me. Considering I've never made a loaf of bread before, I think they've turned out okay. It's not the sort of bread that we're used to. We're used to just ordinary rectangular sliced bread. So I'll give this a try. Alright. I'm super happy with those. There you go. I think I could do with maybe bigger pans as well. And obviously I haven't shaped them enough. There must be a different way to get them tight so they don't blow up like that. But I reckon as long as it tastes good. Let's cut into one of these. It's still hot, but I'm sure I'll be able to manage. Nice and crusty on top. And like that inside. Just looks like bread. And cut a slice. And it's like that. It's very hot. Let's try this with a bit of butter. See what I think. Or margarine in my case. Hot. Yeah. It tastes like bread. There you go. It's actually it's nice. It's got like this bit's like crunchy, and this bit is now nice and chewy inside. So I won't have any excuse to run out of bread again. I just have to get my hot roll mix out, and sorry, I'm speaking while I'm eating. So good. That is good. It does taste good. Nice flavour of it. So there you go, guys. That's number 3 down. Next one's going to be cinnamon rolls, and hopefully they turn out good. This here is really good. Nice flavour. And that would be nice with cheese and ham or jam or toasted, whatever. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you like this video, give me a wee thumbs up, or even hit the subscribe button. It would help my channel out greatly, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you, and thanks for spending some time with me in the kitchen. I'm going to go and enjoy this here now, so I'll see you all in my next video. You all take care. Bye for now.